If school was a game, what would be some loading screen tips? Remember to take your pen back after the class is done. I'll give it back at the end of the hour is a top 10 anime betrayal. Guilty of it just slips my mind and I can't find it by the next day. Hey, sorry I lost that pen I borrowed from you yesterday. Can I borrow a pen? Turn off your HUD so you don't know the time. It goes by faster. But I'm in college and even when I can't see the time it goes slower. You may want to consider getting into something you like. Finishing my 2-year degree. Trying to find a 4-year degree ASAP. That's very smart. Any lids? I chose to go for a higher paying job I wouldn't like. Nothing interested me at all at that age. But I knew I loved to ride BMX and buy a lot of records. So I chose to make more money to fund my passions, which have evolved over the years and I like some stuff that's more expensive than those now. I still honestly don't know what kind of career would make me happy. If you can't figure out a career, and you know what makes you happy, go for the money. Especially if you're going to be unhappy at work anyways. Rather than unhappy, broke and unable to do what you're passionate about. What field did you choose? I don't like anything and I'm in 4th year. Just because she doesn't hate you doesn't mean she loves you. But she touched my chair on accident and didn't scream this time. It must be love. She's in love with your chair. But she was so gentle when she said she didn't like me that way after the Valentine I sent her in class. There must be a chance she could like me. Actual me, junior in high school. I was a moron. Still am, but I'm not that deluded anymore. I was the total opposite. I just assumed friendliness was friendliness, and I reciprocated friendliness. I learned after high school that I had a reputation as a flirt. You dog you, being friendly to people. How could you? There would be no tips on the loading screens, just images of that undying S, locker room drawings, desk carvings and what's on the cafeteria lunch menu for the day. The undying S is at least a millennia old. Be careful. Not everything served in the cafeteria is edible. That's incredibly true. I remember my first weeks of HS I nearly threw up multiple times till I found the 2 foods I could eat and a few snacks. I remember in middle school I got a pizza slice thing and there was a thin layer of plastic baked over it, just a bit of a choking hazard. Chicken patty day and pizza day, the 2 good days. I cried in the cafeteria twice in high school. The day I found out I missed Stromboli day, and my senior year the last time I got Stromboli. Anybody else have Bosco sticks in their HS cafeteria? About the only thing I miss about HS. At higher levels, homework may be optional, but so is passing. My freshman year of college is a testament to this. I did this in my 2nd year. First went fine. 2nd year? Yeah, now feels like the perfect time to fail 3 classes and a lab. So to avoid the failing grades I dropped 4 classes that semester. Use your locker to store items you don't need for the next class. This sounds like it really would be a loading screen tip. Some schools don't even allow it though mayo. What schools are you going to that don't allow you to use lockers? I've heard of high schools from other people's stories that don't allow students to use their own lockers to put their books, etc. in. Which is positively ridiculous and pointless to have the lockers. I think it was some sort of prevention measure about school shootings that wasn't very good. And I've heard of schools that do the opposite and don't allow students to carry backpacks around during the day for the same reason of somehow preventing shootings. The class quests you choose to take will determine what opportunities unlock at future levels. Better results can unlock especially powerful hidden classes. Worse results give you access to the weird kid class. Try to survive for more story and choices. Jotting down notes by hand in class and then typing them out on your computer strengthens your memorization attribute. Damn, this is actually a very good advice. Go to the music room after hours for special interactions. More context please. When I was in secondary school, people would start fricking in the music room if the steel pen instructor didn't show up. Ah, yes. I've heard rumors that people screw in our backstage bathrooms and changing rooms. At my school, it's rumored that the choir kids have orgies back there. It was probably true. Kids who are in choir, church, band or just nerdy are super freaking repressed. In school there is some of the angriest and horniest motherfuckers around. It's easier to pay attention if you sit in the front of the class. If you sit in the back of the class, creative mode is activated. Yep, always. I usually just draw and nobody gives a shit about me. Same. One time I did fake questions in the way they were written on the whiteboard, algebra, and marked them, and my maths teacher was paying more attention to the girl who forgot her protractor, which he didn't even need for the lesson. I spent an entire year in the back of my math class with nobody noticing me until one time I got asked to be excused by the headmaster for a discrepancy. Everyone sort of looked at me like, has this guy always been there? I would talk to everyone before class, and many people from other math groups close by would talk with each other, so they assumed I was with their group. Damn, I partially felt sad that I was ignored so easily, and at the same time proud that I managed it for so long. One kid in my geometry class spoke literally twice throughout the school year. Once was at the beginning of the year for a project, and the other was to ask to use a bathroom. We did know he was there, though. Shower daily. People need to take a good look at this. Especially if you ride the bus. If you ride the bus, everybody who rides the bus is a sweaty motherfucker in the summer. I still remember the distinct feeling of the back of my shirt peeling away from the chemical smelling vinyl seats. Studying for long periods of time is less effective than studying frequently for shorter periods of time. I found that studying for 5-10 minutes and then playing video games for 10 minutes then studying again for 5-10 minutes helps. I didn't have the willpower to play a game for 10 minutes and not keep playing. Cramming works well enough, especially for high school. Might have to change for college, depending on your major. Bio major here, cramming still works, but it sucks ass staying up all night multiple times a week if you have multiple tests. But those nights are nights I wouldn't trade away for anything when you have friends that procrastinate like you, lol. Make friends with your teacher. Or at least make them like you. Or at least make out with them. Or at least smash some. Or be like the Soviets and crush them with an iron fist. Tip: knowledge is power. But so is influence. Befriending the school faculty can provide randomly generated bonuses, and low-level rule breaking will not impact your after-school detention meter. Gum can also be used as currency. Memorize TV tropes pages of popular shows to gain charisma points. Do your homework at lunch to free time for side quests. Studying with classmates outside the testing room 5 minutes before it begins will increase your efficiency by 80%, but decrease your accuracy by 30%. Memorize TV tropes pages of popular shows to gain charisma points. That guy is not popular. Charisma only gets you so far. If you don't have proficiency in charisma skills, you'll probably still fail your skill check. People will tell you to go 100k into debt to get a degree. Make sure you choose the right one. Complete the scholarship side quest to reduce or eliminate costs entirely. Community college is a cost-effective means of completing general education credit. Transfer these credits to a 4-year college and full bosses later in the game. This is very good advice, save so much money. First 2 years are basic gen eds. Take them for cheaper. And at the risk of potentially offending someone, local community colleges are generally easier than traditional 4-year universities. Add sort of an extra step between high school and college to get your feet wet. If you're able to be successful in community college, then you have a good chance at being successful those last couple of years at a 4-year university. I 100% agree with you. A lot of community college classes tend to be geared towards people who either haven't been to college before or haven't been to college in a long time. It tends to cost less than a 4-year as well, and a lot of them are focused on transferring credits, so you can make an adequate education plan. All you need to do is to make sure you use the resources that they provide for you. The front door has a metal bar in the middle. Don't be an idiot. This brings back so many memories. I actually did this once in middle school. Of course it was partially because everybody has to start a freaking crusade into the building after lunch. What did you do? I have no context at all, lol. Was shoved into it head first and it just fricked up the rest of the day. I've witnessed it so many times. One time the teachers covered the bar for decorations and someone forgot and ran head first into it because they wanted to sprint through the flag like papers hanging down. Safe to say they took it down after.